Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with me today. Man, as you could see, the weather in Ohio is as bipolar as these liberals. Yesterday I was wearing a cut sleeve shirt. Today I got a hoodie and a hat on. This is ridiculous. But we're going to do a little reaction video for you and show how delusional and how unnecessary it is nowadays to go to these liberal campuses because they're just all brainwashed and indoctrinated. So we have this guy, Nick Shirley. I'll make sure to drop a link to the page, to his page, and to the video down below so you could see it without my reaction. But he goes to, I believe, Harvard University and starts asking a lot of students, actually a lot of people around Boston, just who they're planning on voting for. And I mean, it's not shocking to me that these people are so liberal, but at the same time, you would think that people with a little bit more common sense and, well, we won't even say common sense, with a little bit more book knowledge would realize everything in the country's going wrong right now is because of this liberalism. But hey, it is what it is. But without further ado, let's get into the reaction.
And who will you be voting for?
I don't.
As a black woman, I would say, like, for citizens, and as a black woman, I would be fearful under presidency.
With that blank, you know who she said.
I can't even begin to list the reasons. It's not extensive.
Can I get three of them?
If anything, Bernie, come out of retirement.
Boo!
Let's do this. Let's get
These
in the
Bernie
game.
bros
I'm
are
here at Harvard
sad,
University.
bro.
Harvard University is one of the most prestigious universities here in the United States of America. The average cost of tuition here is up to $75,000. And these
Wow,
students should be some of the smartest kids
$75,000?
in the world here. So
Should be is a very broad statement. Should be.
today we're going to be asking them who they're going to be voting for in 2024. Right now, looks like we have an election between Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and we may have a few outsiders such as RFK Jr. This is an election special here on my channel that we'll be doing up until the election time. So if you want to see more of these, subscribe. But now we're going to go ask students who they're going to be voting for in 2024. Who will you be voting for?
We'll have to wait and see. It's a little down the line.
Okay.
Just kidding. I'm voting for Biden. If it's a Biden-Trump matchup, then I'd be voting for Biden. Yeah.
What would make you want to vote for Joe Biden versus a person like Donald Trump?
I can't even begin to list the reasons. It's.
He can't list the reasons because there are no reasons. He just doesn't know what to say.
It's not extensive.
Can I get three of them?
Sure. He aligns with my values more. He's more
That's a broad statement.
pro-democracy, and I think he's a better person.
Okay. And with policies, anything like that?
He aligns with my policies generally across the board.
And what are your policies?
Yeah, what's your policy,
All right,
bro?
this is we're hitting past the minute point. I gotta run.
We got like
Sorry.
10 more seconds.
All right, I'm sorry, but I'm cutting this short. I gotta.
Who do you think would be best to become the future leader of America in this year with elections?
In terms of this election, I will be personally voting for Joe Biden.
And why
Of course you will.
I think in terms of just keeping the rule of law and the state of our constitutional democracy, he's the best option.
What do you guys think about the current state of America?
Am I allowed to swear on here?
Yep.
It's dog shit. America's completely shit right now. I ain't gonna lie. Like, low key, I'm trying to go to Europe, probably move to the Netherlands or something. Either way, everything's just going to shit at this point.
Who will you be voting for in 2024?
Respectfully, I'm not voting.
You're not going to be voting?
I will remain neutral.
Who do you think would be better to help America, Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Like I said, I remain neutral. I got no opinion on the matter.
I can respect that. Regardless of whether I agree with it or not, I can respect the fact that he remained neutral with it. Excuse me. And he just said, I'm not voting for anybody at all. I can respect that one.
But you say you want to, like, leave United States, so if you can make it better, who do you think can make it better?
Honestly, I have zero idea on that topic.
And what about you, man? Who do you think will make the country better?
Personally, I would think Mr. Donald Trump himself. It seems like people only like him just because, or people only dislike him just because he'll like say like a thing or two, like that people like think is like pretty rude. But I mean, besides that, I feel like he ran the country a little more better than Joe Biden.
And what do the majority of the kids here in Harvard believe in?
Which is
most
true.
of them are lean towards the left.
And who will you be voting for?
I don't feel comfortable disclosing that information, if that's okay.
And who do you think the majority of these kids are going to be voting for here at Harvard?
I mean, probably Democratic candidates. So.
Yeah.
So we have between Trump or Biden. Do you think they're going to be going for Biden then?
For sure, yeah.
Who are you going to be voting
without
for?
a doubt.
Biden.
We know.
And why so?
Voted for him last year. I don't agree with like some of Trump's policies, so that's why.
And what
Bet you
policies
can't say
that
what
you don't agree
policies.
with?
Some environmental stuff. I hated like the what was it, the Willow Act or whatever. Yeah.
What do you think about America right now?
Like the whole country?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a tough question. I don't know if I have like any opinion about the whole country.
What do you think about the current state of America, from protests, from elections, to inflation, to the border crisis?
Well, I feel like civic engagement and like advocacy and like protesting is a big part of our country and our history, and I feel like this is just an example of like our whole history. So.
Okay, and who do you think would be best to control the situation or get America back into control with this year at the elections?
I don't know.
Who do you think would be best between Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or any other candidates?
I mean, I don't really have an opinion. I feel like politics are super complicated. I mean, I'm only 18. This is my first year. Like, this is why I'm here, to like learn more. But I think everything's super complicated. I don't have like too much of an informed opinion yet.
Okay, cool. And what are you studying here?
I'm studying government and ethnicity migration rights.
Is this chick serious right now? Is she being serious? This is what the future of our country has to look forward to? This is sad. What is this girl talking about? How are you going to not have an opinion when that's literally what you're going to school for? What is wrong with these liberals, bro? They just don't want to admit that they're wrong. Their commitment to stupidity, I salute you.
So this should be pretty important for you to know.
I know. Yeah, that's why I'm here to learn more. I'm here to learn more.
All right, you're a smart man.
It doesn't make sense.
We're going to ask you a tough question.
Oh, no.
It's simple. Who will you be voting for in 2024?
It's a good question. Definitely not Donald Trump. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that Joe Biden has done, and I don't agree with Joe Biden as a person, but
I'm just going to keep going with what I'm told to do. That's what I'm going to do.
You know, it might be a situation where you're picking the better of two evils, so probably Joe Biden if it comes down to it.
And what are you guys studying? And remember this girl's face, because at the end of this video, she gives a very interesting response. With what's going on in the Middle East, and this year we're going to have elections in 2024, who do you think will be best to resolve this
Bernie, bro.
Unfortunately, neither. You're dealing with either an alt-right extremist candidate or a closeted centrist of a Democrat that really isn't going to do anything because he's in bed with giving billions of funding and not allowing any sort of sanctions on that. So it's really tough. I mean, in our city, in our country right now, we have a really political system. If anybody remembers, Joe Biden was in 4th place after the New Hampshire primaries in 2020, and then all the other candidates except Bernie dropped out, backed Joe Biden, and all of a sudden he was the #1 front runner. And in 2016, when we tried to bring a progressive candidate once again with Bernie Sanders, we ran into super delegates that Hillary was already going to win and was already ahead before we even got to California for the primaries. So when you're dealing with such a distorted scale of choices, either alt-right or kind of pretty much moderate Republican, maybe slightly left with Biden, you're not really going to get a lot done.
Number one, Biden is not slight left. He is far left. What is this guy talking about? Number two, I do agree with them. Biden was in last, and all of a sudden he jumped up to first place in 2020 as the #1 candidate for the Democrats. What it is they knew he could be controlled. He is a puppet. His mind is so far gone that they knew that they could just get whatever through that they wanted to, and he's just going to go with it, right? But this guy is delusional, bro. He is delusional. There is nothing slightly conservative about Biden at all. He is all greed and corruption, and he is far left now. Do not believe what this guy says. He is a liar.
So I definitely think that neither candidate is going to provide much hope for this situation, and what we're doing right now and whatnot across the country is the best way to sort of seek attention and activism and whatnot.
He was talking about Joe Biden being in bed with other countries. Do you think the politicians are currently trying to fund this crisis that's going on in the Middle East, or
I don't even think it's a question if the military is funding it. There is obviously like $90 billion that has already been passed by Congress to go over there. And I think the rhetoric is that the military-industrial complex is protecting the United States or protecting the interests of Israel, but I fundamentally do not trust the agenda of the military-industrial complex.
Okay, if it gets down to Donald Trump and Joe Biden, who will you guys support?
There'll be a third party.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to support who I always support, Vermin Supreme, the number one political candidate that offers everybody a free pony, that if we're already going to throw away a vote to once again pretty much a centrist Democratic candidate that isn't doing anything. Where was all the police reform, Mr. Biden? Where was all the stuff you promised in 2020? Marijuana is legal in 30 to 40 states, but at this point, still no federal grip on that. And when it comes to the minimum wage, when it comes to a lot of issues where inflation is kicking the living shit out of us, like $8 for eggs and whatnot, and we can't get a raise on the $7.85 national minimum wage, he's not doing anything. He's a puppet up there, and he's a puppet for other people that are already comfortable and settled and just trying to get their corporate backers happy, you know? So neither of them. If anything, Bernie, come out of retirement. AOC, let's do this.
All right, that shows that this guy's delusional. He just threw AOC's name out there. Anything he just said is completely discredited. Number two, the fact that he supports people like Bernie Sanders and AOC and all these far left progressives. He has no way possible is that he is allowed to talk about inflation. There is no way that he is allowed to complain. None at all. That's what's wrong with these people. They think that they complain about the things that they support. You support people like Bernie Sanders and AOC, then you support this corruption. Stop with this stuff. This dude is a sheep.
Let's get in the game.
And also here in the United States, we received over 8 million, potentially up to 16 million migrants. What do you guys think about the migrant crisis that's going on here in America?
I support open borders.
You support open borders?
Oh, hell yeah.
And why do you guys support open borders?
You guys just wait for the liberal brainwashing to commence in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This isn't our country. This country was founded on genocide and culture and taking it from indigenous people. Whoever the
this is Turtle Island.
Why did we get to come here? Why did my ancestors get to come here?
Go back to where you're from then.
Oppression of the UK. So it's just like the cycle repeats itself until it doesn't. Like, this isn't our country. This is Turtle Island, and it belongs to indigenous people. And it wouldn't have been the United States of America if it wasn't for culture
and genocide.
A lot of the people that are coming out of the country, we don't know who they
All nothing but liberal brainwashing talking
are, and they change their names once they cross the border. Do you guys have any issues with that?
I mean, we don't know who's in this country.
Yeah.
Do you know how many shooters and serial killers and people in this country that are incredibly violent?
How many politicians are rapists who literally run our country and are here to keep us safe? And how many cops have been brutally hitting students, young children? Like, videos of children looking out the window watching their friends get beat by adult grown-ass men. What the
What do you guys think will be the solution to all this?
Yeah, show me the tapes. I want to know what this chick's talking about, because these women are delusional. They need to get out of school if that's what they're doing. And the fact that, just wait, we'll get into it in a second.
A spiritual revolution where people truly understand that we're all connected and that they are connected to their own bodies, because you wouldn't be able to violate the body of another person if you were connected to your own humanity and your own body. And so it's like a psychological heart spiritual revolution where we have to unprogram this, like the psychology that we prioritize profit over humanity, over connection. And in this capitalist culture where profit is the main priority, we're not going to be able to achieve that.
I want to show you guys the complete hypocrisy right here really quick, right? I don't know if I can zoom in. Let me see if I can zoom in really quick. If not, it's not a big deal. Zoom. No, I can't zoom. Okay, anyway, I'm going to just use this, right? Do you guys see this? Radiohead. That is the name of a rock and roll band. They make their money from their music, from their likeness. It's called capitalism. How are you going to complain about capitalism and support capitalists? That makes zero sense. These people are delusional. They don't know what they're talking about. They're fed this fake knowledge and to seem it's real, and it's all propaganda. I promise you. Let's keep it going.
It's primarily a Christian country. Do you think more people need to start believing in Jesus and following his teachings?
Jesus is also a patriarchal story that has been co-opted by mainstream religion.
A ton of white people.
Yeah.
His literal name was Yeshua. Like, that's not even his name, you know?
It's not about institutional religious indoctrination of people trying to control them. It's about a genuine connection to, like, the spirit and godliness.
Do these brainwashed dummies not realize that people say things differently in different language, in different places? For example, my name's Thomas, but in Mexico, they would call me Tomas. It's different ways of saying. These women are so brainwashed and they don't even realize it. They hate the fact that they're white, and I love that.
In nature.
And the body. Like, we were just talking about this morning, this genocide couldn't happen if it wasn't for the level of true disembodiment, which is also perpetuated by the prison industrial complex, the medical industrial complex, capitalism, I mean, the whole 9 yards. People aren't in their bodies, or they wouldn't be able to pretend like this isn't happening.
Do you think there is a current leader who could potentially become president that could solve these issues?
No.
It's about community.
No, it's not. It's not going to be a top-down revolution.
There's no savior.
Because in hierarchy and in the current political system, everyone will be corrupted by money.
Money is the root of all evil?
It's not money, it's capitalism. Money is just a tool. Capitalism.
Stop wearing Radiohead stuff. That's capitalism.
It's a psychology and a consciousness.
Would we be better underneath socialism?
Socialism is a political system. Communism is a political system. Capitalism is an economic system. So people get very confused when you talk about dismantling capitalism. That has nothing to do with communism. It has nothing to do with socialism.
Yes, it does.
Political versus economic.
She's lying.
Systems. And if we want to change an economic system, then we will have the imagination to form a political system that's actually about community and supporting the planet.
And so what do you do here at Harvard?
I'm in the trades.
Here we've talked to a lot of people here at Harvard, and we're talking to people about America and the elections that are going to be coming up. And most people say that everyone here, that the majority here are left-leaning. And why do you think that is so?
It's a good question. Well, schools look more liberal. Colleges tend to be more liberal.
Who will you be voting for?
Oh, I'll be voting Democrat.
Because you will be voting Democrat? Is there anything you'd like to see change from Joe Biden if he does win?
Well, help the students out a bit more financially. I could see that as a good thing.
And coming into
taking money from people who go to work and pay taxes and giving it to people who decided to go to college, that's good for them. But no, they don't deserve to get their loans paid for. Pay for it yourself. You decided to go. It's your decision. Pay for it yourself.
2024, who will you be voting for?
2024. Biden and Kamala Harris.
And with the election here in 2024, who will you guys be supporting?
No one.
I'm going to vote because I'm going to exercise my right, but I'm not particularly excited about any of the choices.
If you had a vote today, who would you be voting for?
Unfortunately, Joe Biden again.
Joe Biden again.
Yeah.
Why do you think so many of the college students here in Boston and at Harvard want to vote for Joe Biden? We haven't heard anybody that wants to vote for Donald Trump yet.
I think there's a lot of reasons.
That he's the lesser of two evils?
Yeah.
I mean, do the wars going on around the world prove that? Does the inflation improve that? Does anything else improve that? Property taxes are up. I mean, what is the lesser of two evils? I don't get what your guys' talking points are.
I agree.
And do you guys agree with the policies of Joe Biden of open borders with all the migrants that came in here into America? What do you think about the current economy of America?
I think it's right in the pisser. Yeah, it's no good. I'm vote for Trump because of that.
There you go.
So you will be voting for Donald Trump?
Of course, yeah.
Smart man in Boston.
For Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. The majority of people here in Boston are all saying Joe Biden.
You know what? All the corrupt people right now hate him so bad. I think you have to vote for him. That's they hate him so bad, and they're the people, the enemy of my enemy. So
do you think it's a sign when someone's actually persecuted as much as Donald Trump and as much as people like Abraham Lincoln or MLK that they're actually the right guy?
Yes, exactly right. Perfect. Very well said.
And we've been talking to a lot of people here in the streets of Boston, Harvard, and a lot of them are saying they're going to be voting for Joe Biden. But do you think there's going to be a lot more people that are going to be like coming out of the closet that are secretly supporting Donald Trump here in Massachusetts?
I think that's very true. That's a true statement. I think that's very true overall.
What makes you want to vote for Donald Trump versus Joe Biden?
Like I said, I had this feeling the last administration was doing better. I think we've lost focus. He's in courts right now. We're really not focused on economy, immigration, basic jobs.
Right.
Just something for the people. We're in the middle of wars right now. All types of stuff going on. It just feels different.
Do you think other countries fear Joe Biden as president?
I don't think so at all. Unfortunately, no.
He's losing the respect of Americans and other countries while he's in office?
Yeah, I think there's a sense of weakness and stuff like that. And
yeah,
I don't
for
think
sure.
people want to bash him for his old age. I think people really realize they feel bad, and we have a sign of weakness all over the world and within the U.S.
Who are you guys going to be voting for in 2024?
I'm going to have to go with Trump.
There you go.
And why so?
Because who else do we have?
Y'all not trusting Biden?
Yeah, I missed my stimulus check.
You missed your stimmy? What makes you guys want to vote for Donald Trump?
I feel like it wasn't better, honestly, but it was like just more comfortable when it was Trump, kind of, in a way.
What about you, man?
I like his hair.
Yeah.
And what do you guys study?
Government.
Government. What about you?
Bro, that kid's only reason he's voted for him is because he liked his hair. That is so funny. You know, they found the 2 Trump supporters, and they happen to be black ones on campus, right? But isn't it funny that they had to go away from campus to find more Trump supporters? I think that's a little bit weird.
Sociology.
Sociology. All right, well, you're studying government. And studying government, who do you think would be the best person to be in the president's seat?
I'm not answering that question on the internet.
Why not? That's what you're studying, though, right?
It is what I'm studying, and I have opinions.
Okay, and
Yeah.
what's your opinion on America right now?
America is a mess at the moment. Everybody's very polarized for a good reason. I'll say I don't want a racist in our president's seat at all.
Good.
So,
And what would make that person you're referring to as a racist?
racist comments, actions, policies that they support, things that they endorse, anything like that.
And what do you guys like about Joe Biden? We've been talking to a lot of students here.
It's funny that as soon as she said all that stuff, he was like, all right, well, what do you guys like about Joe then? Like, because he already knew where she was going, these smug, arrogant, Harvard, leftist-leaning dirders.
And what makes you guys lean more towards Joe Biden here at Harvard?
I think it's more of a lesser of two evils type situation. I think both candidates have done a lot of very bad things, but I think in terms of trying to choose between the 2 candidates that are most likely going to make it to the final vote, I think that it would be a better option to choose Joe Biden just because he is a lesser of 2 evils.
That's not a
response. You guys feel
response.
safer underneath Joe Biden, especially with the wars that are going on? Who do you think would pose as a bigger threat to other countries as president?
By bigger threat, like what do you mean?
Like, people would have more fear.
As president?
Yeah, like show more respect.
As a black woman, I would say, like for citizens and as a black woman, I would be fearful under Donald Trump's presidency.
Why did she have to word it like that? What a freaking moron, dude. She didn't have to word it like that. All he asked was a basic question, and she had to go, and they're a black woman, as a black woman. I can't stand these liberals, bro. It's just so annoying.
Whereas Joe Biden, I don't think that he has it out for POC people at all.
What is a POC? Everybody has a color. My color is peach. I am a peach-colored person, right? That is a color. Even if you want to call me a white person, white is a color. White is just as much of a color as black. What do these people talk about POC? They are... Never mind. We're just going to keep it going.
I know Donald Trump has great ties with like certain major countries, and Joe Biden also has great ties with certain major countries. It really just depends on the state of the world when they are presidents.
What could Joe Biden or Donald Trump do to unify America?
Oh, that's a great question. They will both have to lean more towards the center because both of them are a little bit extreme. A little bit is an understatement. They're both very extreme at the moment, and I think Joe Biden's doing a good job of trying to lean towards the center and appeal to both sides.
No. That is not true at all. Not one conservative I know likes Trump or likes Biden. That is a lie.
It was just very, like, he could have his own ideology at this point, you know what I mean? So that's the break. They both need to just lean towards the center.
What do you guys think about the current economy, and do you think there's a way that we can get down this inflation?
I honestly think the economy is in shambles. The U.S. is in trillions of dollars in debt to other countries. I think that inflation is just like an after effect of all of us being in debt. I do think that inflation will continue to go up unless we make major changes or unless we plan how we're going to pay these people back. I think that inflation will continue to go up because the U.S. really does not have the money to sustain the way we are living right now.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, I'm going to end on that note, but to let you know, these liberals are completely brainwashed. My advice, if you have kids, homeschool them and don't send them to places like Harvard or any of these other liberal colleges where they're currently getting indoctrinated, because they're all being taught to think with a hive mind instead of have their own personal thought. And this video is more than proof of it. If you guys like videos like this, make sure to hit that like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, smash the notification. Also, leave a comment down below. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.